Hi, how you guys doing today? My name is Trent McDonald's. My purpose of the speech today is to get everybody to understand how we use the architecture profession to impact the world and the environment. I'll give you a scenario to help you better understand what I'm talking about. I think when you walk outside your house, and the first things we think about is not air quality. So you just walk outside your home, take a deep breath, and you don't think to yourself, "Hey, I'm so glad to have nice air quality." That's not something that anybody in the United States that I believe that I know at least, thinks about or says when they wake up. But most of us don't think about that, and that's just the truth. In some places, though, air quality is so bad that in China, India, places around the world, the civilians wear masks in order to not get sick from the air because that's just how bad it is, and you can physically see the pollution, and I believe that's not okay. An article published by a housing development website called Curb.com states 36% of global energy use is given off by buildings and cities, and 39% of energy-related carbon dioxide is given off by construction. I know a lot of that comes from the manufacturing of concrete and the use of concrete, which, as you guys probably know, most of buildings that we have at this moment of time are created by concrete because it's more stable. And this pertains to all of us because, we all live in the same world. We all do similar activities when it comes down to it. And I would think that we would want to treat our world because that's just where we are in this current time. We can't leave here. We can't go anywhere else. We have to make the best of the situation on the earth at the moment. And architecture is a global field, so they have a direct correlation to what can be happened and said on environmental impacts and how much energy is given off by buildings and cities. And the way that is done is LEED certifications, and I'll get into that here in a minute. The last semester I wrote a 12-page paper on city energy and consumption and biophilic design. And biophilic design is probably not something a lot of people are familiar with because it is probably more architecture related, but I'll go into a brief description, and that is, it states that you can design buildings, houses that are incorporated with nature instead of actually, destroying nature and putting harm into the environment like we have historically seen. So what I've discovered from that research was that greenhouse gas emission in our cities around the world use the most global energy and give the most carbon dioxide and greenhouse gas emission in any sector of the world, in the industry. And we as a society can be informed of this crisis, like I said, by LEED certifications. And last year I walked into a LEED certification during my research process to get an understanding on why that building was LEED certified, and that was right here in Denver. And the people in the front desk, they didn't even know what LEED certified was. There was no recollection. It's printed. There's a big print of LEED certification right on the front of the building, or as soon as you walk through the door. So I'm sure multiple people have seen it, and for them to not know what it is kind of baffles me a little bit. So Everblue.com is a website that I got some of these facts off of, and among the many LEED benefits, it's a long list of when you actually do research on it. I think 3 main points I'd like to make here are reduce energy waste, lower operating costs, and less construction waste. All of those are beneficial, right? We can just kind of comprehend that a little bit. But I think the biggest out of these ones I would think about are lower operating costs, because over the period of a time in the life of a building, a lot of people don't think about, 10 years from now, I might invest a little more into constructing this LEED certified building because it takes a lot. But 10 years from now, I'm going to get my money back. 10 years from then, I'm going to make more money than I would have if I didn't have that certification. So in conclusion, we're all here on this earth together, and we need to take into consideration, as I stated earlier, that this earth it only gives us one chance, and we need to take action because it is really affecting the environment before we know it, before our very own eyes. So before it gets too late, we need to make the stand, to make the pact to kind of investigate and become we all need to understand as a society what LEED certifications are, and so we can help kind of ask and make the people who are in the field of that architects, just any kind of construction process, so that they can be more influenced to do that. And I know a lot of architecture firms at the moment have made pacts to kind of reduce the energy cost and emissions into the environment, 5, 10, 20 years from now. And that's a start, but we should be informed as well. And in conclusion, I think if everybody is informed, it will help the field push more on helping the environment. My name is Troy McDonald. Thank you for listening.